Hey everybody, this is Jimmy Show, and this is the Jamie Shaw Marketing Show. And tonight I have my good friend Wonder Whit on with me, and we're going to be talking about: are you losing customers because of your clothes? Most people get uptight and get scared, and they start puking all over their customer when they're talking to them, and then the next thing you know, the customer's bye bye, I'm out of here. So if you're doing that, then you need to listen up, because Wonder Whit's going to lay down some strategies on how to talk to your customers and close them. So, welcome to the show, Wonder Whit. Glad to see you
here. Thanks for having me on. I think I have a little bit of a lag, just FYI. So, but yeah, thanks for having me on. And closing, man, closing gets a lot of people. I think this is one of the most popular complaints or struggles that most marketers have, and most of my clients have too. So it can end up being something where either you're not comfortable asking for the sale, you're not comfortable with what you're selling. There's a lot of different angles that can happen, a lot of different ways to drop the ball when you're closing. So I think one of the first things with closing that you have to be okay with is asking for money. And people, it never fails. People want to give everything away for free because they feel it's so valuable, and they don't want to ask somebody, hey, or maybe they know the circumstances behind what this person's going through, and I understand that, but it doesn't work that way. So there's a mindset strategy that you have to be okay with requesting money for a service provided, and that's all it is. It really is just a transfer of energy. You receive money, they receive a solution. That's how you have to view your products. It's very simple, whether it's product, training, lifestyle product, and actual, what's the word I'm looking for? Consumable product. There we go. A consumable product. Anything like that. You have to understand that you are making an exchange. It's not one-sided. You're not getting all the value. In fact, they're getting the better value, because money is just money, right? The other side of that is a lot of people struggle with the idea that be sold, or to have, sorry, my daughters are here. About their mindset struggles with just accepting money. So you have to open up your mindset and your vibration to tie it to abundance, because there's plenty of money out there, and there's plenty of solutions out there, and you have to exchange those. So once you get past that part of the close, everything else just becomes a matter of posture and asking the right questions. You can actually close somebody without asking them for the close, asking for the sale. And it takes a very massaged effort, but once you get it down and you tweak it to your own little formula, it's very, very effective. And that's one of the strategies that I've been learning, and I've actually accumulated, Jamie's probably looking up the notes right now, but I've accumulated a bunch of strategies.
Yeah, this list is phenomenal. And it looks like she's having some internet issues, so she'll be back in a second. Yeah, she shared this list with me earlier today, and we talked about it a little bit. And I haven't got to read all the way through it, but I've been brushing through it. And wow, she's wonder what's evolving is what I can say, is because the last time we talked about prospecting and closing and stuff like that, she her notes weren't as expansive, and this time they've grown into a lot bigger set of notes, questions to ask and stuff like that, so I don't want to reveal too much detail, because she's going to teach this, and I don't want to step on her toes, because I let her come on every first of every month, and let her teach whatever she wants to teach, and we usually discuss what she's going to teach, and we'll go over it and everything. So so you know, this is an area that I struggle with myself, you know, so having somebody that knows how to do it and been around the sales industry all of her life, you know, is someone who is more qualified to teach it than I am. So, sure, she'll be back anytime. You know, I'm surprised I'm not having technical difficulties myself because we got a big storm brewing here in town, and I'm just waiting for it to blow up. So let me see. Find the chat here. So Dave Renick is in the chat. Hi, Dave. How you doing? And anybody else that's in the chat, you know, please feel free to write a comment, and then it'll ask you to log in, and you can log in with Facebook, Twitter, whatever you want to log in. Log in, say hi. You know, we have interaction and everything. So feel free to jump on. I'm also watching my YouTube channel, see if anybody's on there making comments. So I don't know if Wonder's going to make it back or not. Sometimes her internet connection is just wild and crazy. You know, so I'll do the best I can to cover what she was talking about. So in her notes, you know, she talks about qualifying people that you want to work with, you know, and how to talk to them. You know, ask them questions, you know, what's going on, how's it going in your world, how have you been, you know, stuff like that. You want to build rapport with them, ask them about their friends, their occupation, extracurricular activities. You know, start digging down to what their pain is, and do they need what you have to offer? Because a lot of times, you know, we aren't digging down deep enough and finding out what they are looking for. You know, what's their pain, and you know, and we're offering a product that doesn't even solve their pain. You know, so if you have to adjust your product by the person you're talking to, because everybody's pain is not the same, and you know, their pain may be they're scared to do videos, so you want to. You know, so we have the system I use. We have free video marketing training that we can give them away. You know, they can watch the free training, and they get a free PDF on 101 topics on what to do videos about. Because most people are like, they're scared to do videos, not because they're scared to get on camera. They think they're scared to get on camera, but really, they're scared because they don't know what they want to talk about when they get on camera. It's not so much that they're just scared to get on camera, because once you have stuff to talk about on camera, you know, then it becomes easier. You have a topic to cover. You know, tonight I didn't script anything. I didn't set anything up because Wonder Whit was going to teach this method. You know, and if she don't come on, I guess I'm in deep trouble but I'll cover her notes the best I can. You know, until she can make it back, and talk about some of the things, some of the experiences I have had, you know, with closing people and stuff like that, and we'll just go from there until she can make it back. So, so you want to assess their pain, and like I said, do they even need what you have to offer? The pain funnel, listen in reverse to find the pain. Okay, so when you start finding out what their pain is, you want to find out more about that. Ask them questions, you know, ask them how long it's been a problem. Ask them how what they've tried to do to resolve that in the past. You know, did it work? You know, so I'm gonna stay on the, you know, example of video marketing. You know, I was scared to death to do videos. You know, and my mentors, Dave, Pat, and Katie, all told me that I need to do video. And you know, once I got over the fear of doing a video, then it became natural to me. And the thing is, I don't even know why I was scared to do the video, because what I did was I took out my phone, I recorded a video, I didn't like it, so I deleted it. So I recorded another video and did it again, you know, and I did it several times until I found one that I was comfortable with, that I got all my words, and I didn't stumble very much, and I uploaded it to YouTube. That was my first video I ever did. And then I just kept doing that, you know, and then eventually I got down to a point where I could record a whole video with one take and then just upload it. I don't go in and edit it. There's no point in editing your videos. You want to be a real authentic person, and your mistakes in your videos are what make you you. So keep them in there. A lot of people like to go edit their videos and do other stuff to them and stuff like that. You know, the only editing I've been doing to my videos is when I upload to YouTube, I put featured image on them. You know, spotlighting either my blog, www.jamesjshaw.com, or I, you know, put another image header on it that I've made that spotlights Jamie Shaw Marketing Show, and then I've got automatically set up within 5 seconds when the video starts. Picture of me pops up, and it's a subscribe button. Then I've been playing with annotations, you know, and end screens, and you know, my views have gone up. I haven't noticed my subscribers going up, but I have a lot, or not annotation cards, adding cards in there to, you know, push people to my current videos and stuff like that. I notice my views have been going up, my watch time has been going up, but my subscribers haven't gone up yet. So, you know, it's just as far as going and editing out mistakes in my videos, no, I just leave them how they are. That way people know I'm a real authentic person. Let's see. You know, find out. You know, if the thing they tried to fix, you know, do in the past, you know, if ask them what have you tried in the past to do to fix the problem, and ask them if it worked, and if it didn't, you know, ask them how they felt about that, why it didn't work. You know, you're digging to find their pain in this. You may want to ask, you know, have you given up trying to fix it, or are you ready for a real solution? You know, and that's kind of hitting a pain point, you know, and offering them a solution in the same instance, you know, and I lost my train of thought. You know, and you're offering a solution in the same instance, you know, and you're selling, but you're not selling. You know, you're offering a solution, but like I said, you have to make sure what you're offering them is aligned with what their pain problem is. Okay, my prospect, their pain is getting over the fear of doing video. So, you know, I'm going to offer them video marketing. It has a 90-minute, I think it's a 90-minute video, and 101 PDF that has 101 topics that they can do videos on. And there's tons of topics on there. You know, and if it's something you want, then, you know, I give it away for free quite a bit. And I mean, there's topics on there like product reviews, how-to videos. You know, those are things you want to be covering. You know, and let's see what's next on the list. Oops. You know, and ask them how much they want to make a month to be financially independent. You know, a lot of people come in and say, "Oh, I want to make $10,000 a month." You know, right off the bat, when you're talking to them, and you know, in the first comeback, you know, I mean, I don't make $10,000 a month in my job, and I'm highly educated and trained, and I make a pretty good income. But my question to them would be, have you ever made $10,000 a month? Well, no, you know. So then my next question would be, what do you currently make a month now? You know, most people, I mean, I don't know what most people make a month. I make, let's see, most average salary I think is $3,000 a month for most people. So my gross salary is like $5,100 a month. So, you know, like I said, I'm highly educated and I make a pretty good salary. And the normal person, average person in America makes about $3,000 a month, you know, which is about $36,000 a year. You know, and that's a very small income in today's economy. and that's why most people have a two-income household. You know, so you got to focus on replacing their income, you know, little by little. I mean, if you're not making $10,000 a month in your job, how can you expect to make $10,000 a month in your business? You know, and the figure I said for my salary, that's my gross salary. That's not what I take home. That's my gross before taxes. So, you know, for me to stay at home, I would have to do minus taxes and everything. Let's see, right at about $39.50 a month is what I would have to make in my online business to be able to quit my job. And so that's what, so basically $4,000 a month. So I'd have to make $4,000 a month to quit my job and run my online business full time. And that's what most people don't understand. They're trying to, you know, they want to make buku bucks right now, which it's great to have a big dream, but you got to walk before you got to crawl before you can walk. And starting at replacing what your take-home salary is, and not your gross salary. Replace your take-home salary, then you can move on to building up to $10,000 a month. So if you're making $3,000 a month, your take-home is probably $2,000 a month. So you want to start there and replace that. Once you replace that, you can build from there. You know, then you want to find out, you know, how much they can actually invest in their business. If they could make, okay, $2,000 a month, what would they be doing? Would they be able to quit their job, you know, by making that $2,000 a month? Would they be able to invest more in their business? You know, me personally, if I hit the $4,000 a month, I would continue to work for probably 6 months to a year and just build on that, you know. Then that way, when I'm making $8,000 to $10,000 a month, then I would look at quitting my job and retiring myself. And that's $4,000 extra income a month that I have in that 6 months to a year to be investing in my business, becoming a better marketer, building up systems, getting my corporation or my LLC all lined up, you know, stuff like that, you know, because when you go into business for yourself, you got to have all your ducks in a row, putting money back for emergencies, you know, in case mishap happens, your internet goes out, your computer dies, a hard drive goes out of your computer, stuff like that, you know. Have a backup plan for when you're in your home business, you know, because if you're not consistently doing the work, you may run into financial difficulties, and you want to have a fallback plan. So, because you don't want to have to go back to a job. Then you need to focus on what their vision is. You know, what is their vision? Most people say they want to quit their job. Well, why do you want to quit your job? Because you're tired of your boss, because you want to live the dream lifestyle, because you want to travel the world. You know, what is your vision? What do you want to do with your life? Because if you just make $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month to replace your income, you can quit your job and stay at home. Then what are you going to do all day? Most people think they can come home and work an hour a day and the money will pour in. Well, you have to consistently do what you need to do to keep your business alive. You have to be doing active recruiting. You have to be creating content actively. You have to be blogging. You have to be doing, you know, meet new people, prospecting and selling, selling without selling. You know, there's all different areas you still have to cover. You know, advertising. Are you going to do paid advertising, free advertising? There's a lot of different avenues that you have to think about. You know, and you have to focus on where you want to be. You know, your end goal is going to be your vision. You know, I want to come home and say, this is my vision. I'm just kind of coming up with an example. Say you want to work from home so you can start to travel around the country in an RV. So, You know, instead of your goal being $2,000 a month, you want to do $4,000 a month. That way you cover your RV expense, your travel expense, you know, because you got to tow the RV unless, you know, it's an RV, self-contained RV that has a motor and everything and living conditions. But you still got to have another vehicle to get around when you get to your campsites or, I think Katie and Pops are doing a lot of boondoggling. That's just finding a place to park your RV and, you know, with not, you don't have no electricity, you run off a generator, and, you know, you're basically kind of roughing it. You know, a lot of people don't want to do that. They want to stop at campgrounds, you know, and the campgrounds aren't cheap. You got to have electric hookup, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, it's a very interesting way of life is to do the RV lifestyle. If that's your vision, you know, cool. That's what you need to focus on, and that's what you need to work for every day. Let's see if I got any activity in the chat. Dave is in the chat. I don't see anybody else really making any comments, but so we'll move on. You know, when the conversation gets deadlocked, Wonder Whit must be really having internet problems. So because it's not making it back. So when the conversation's really deadlocked, you know, even the playing field, don't punch them. You know, don't use short jabs. Bring them down to the size. You know, don't break their silence. Make them come to you while you're on the call. You want to find out what their reason for joining is. Use emotional real estate. Their daughter's wedding. Their better lot. You know, they want a better life. Their kids. They want to get out of debt. I mean, they want to travel. They want to become debt free. You know, there's many different things that are emotional that you can strike their emotional points and their pain points. And then you want to hit, you know, if they don't join your team, you know, how will they come up to money to chase their dreams? You know, and if they knew the answer to their pain, they wouldn't be on the phone. You wouldn't be on the phone with them or on a Google Hangout or a Zoom call with them, you know, and you wouldn't be asking these questions, you know. You see, I'm kind of out of my realm here because Wonder Whit was supposed to teach this, and I'm just doing the best I can with her notes, you know. Most of the interaction I've had with people, you know, and my hardest point is asking for the sale. And I know a lot of marketers have that problem, you know. I kind of can get down to their pain point and find out what they want, what their vision is, what their goals are, what's their reason for getting out of bed. But, you know, I forget to, you know, close them. Ask for the sale. You know, do you want to join my newsletter? Do you want the link to this product that I think will help you, or, you know, whatever. I become friends with them, then we end up chit-chatting all the time. I never seem to close the sale. I have a lot of marketers that started prospecting me, and then I've turned them around into friends, and then I've never hit them up with a link or tried to sell them or anything. So a lot of marketers' biggest problem is asking for the sale, you know, and that's one of mine. Oh, I got a message from Katie. Katie's my sponsor, you know, in the company I'm with, and she just got done with a big Eric Worre's conference, and she's all excited, all jacked up. She's sending me off this plan that I got to follow for the next 30, 60, 90 days, whatever it is, you know. And, you know, I watched a video on Mark Harvard today doing a 90-day plan, you know, and it's not a challenge. It's a plan. It's a plan of action to get you to where you need to be. It's a 90-day marathon to getting videos out, getting content out and stuff like that, you know. And she's all jacked up from the Eric Worre's conference, and she learned something. And this Saturday, you know, on our workshop, she'll probably share a bunch of that information with us. You know, I can tell she's jacked up by the messages she's been sending me. She sent me one, a message first thing this morning. actually at 11 o'clock last night, and I was in bed because, you know, as many of you know, I still have a day job, so I would go to bed about 10:30 every night. So, so let's try this next method that Wonder Whit's got up in here. And since she's having a hard time getting back on, because she ain't come back on, I know that she's having internet issues. Otherwise, she'd have been back on by now. If she wants to, I'll have her come back on and teach this next week, since you're getting the abbreviated version from me. So in her notes, she covers the Fuji method, which the Fuji method is, and I've never heard of this before. F stands for the fear of loss. U stands for urgency and scarcity. J stands for the Jones effect. And I stands for indifference for you as the closer. So I know what the Jones effect is. You know, you want to keep up with the Joneses. Your neighbor buys a new truck, and you got to go out and buy a new truck to keep up with them. You know, common objections that people have: cost. You know, everything is an investment. What do you think it will cost you to invest? You know, and I see that objection a lot. You know, people are afraid. Oh, okay, what's it going to cost me? Well, what did you pay to go to college for? What did you invest in your college education? That's what I have to say. Well, I invested $100,000 in my college education. So investing $10 trial and $150 a month, you know, seems like peanuts compared to what I invested in my you know, in my education. You know, a lot of people think $100 is a lot. You know, I spent $100 a week in gas. Actually, since I bought this newer truck, it's actually $80 a week in gas. What I've been using a week in gas, but gas prices kind of went up this week, so I'll probably be moving up to closer to $100 a week. You know, so you know, a lot of courses out there, unless you're going out and buying big ticket items. Most of the courses that I promote in our system, you know, I've got $7 courses, I've got $27 courses, I've got $97 courses, I've got $197 courses, I've got $297 courses, I've got $497 courses. You can't invest $7 in your business. You can't invest, you know, $150 in your business. Then you're not going to have any success. If you're trying to market all free stuff and try to earn a commission, you're not going to have really good luck with it. I've been in internet marketing since 2008. So I'm going on my 9th year. In the first 7 years, you know, I didn't ask for help. I didn't know what to do. Didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a community. So I didn't know what to do. So I just did what I could and learned stuff along the way. I learned WordPress and became really good at WordPress. I learned, you know, technical stuff when it comes to marketing, but I never learned really how to market. Now, I learned a little bit how to market, but I was scared to death to do videos until I met a mentor at an event, and he said, "You got to do videos. You're losing money. You're throwing money on the table." And you know, and like I've said it, I think I said it last week. You know, I've been in learning mode for the last couple of months, and I haven't been doing a lot of content marketing. I haven't been doing a lot of videos. I haven't been doing a lot of Facebook Lives because I've been on learning mode, learning some strategies on Facebook, on YouTube, and fine-tuning some stuff in my business. You know, like I said, you know, I've been fine-tuning stuff with adding featured image on my YouTube videos, on my marketing show videos, and adding some cards in there, adding the subscribe button, adding and videos, and my views have gone up. Been tweaking what I have, been taking old content and putting it on my blog post and getting blog content on there. You know, so I'm not completely in learning mode. I am still taking some action, and instead of trying to get a blog post out every day, I'm trying to get one out every week, you know, and I got one out Monday night. And it's like my viewers have been sitting waiting for me to post a blog post because I've got my Google Analytics set up to notify me when I have a traffic spike. And I've gotten an email every day this week saying my traffic has spiked on my blog because my users on my blog have been waiting for me to post because I haven't posted a blog post in a couple months. So they're all hitting it. So, you know, this weekend I get another one prepared for Monday, and boom, I'll get another one uploaded and get content back out there. I really can't cover this Fuji method real well because Wonder Whit really hasn't taught me, and and this is her teaching, so I kind of covered what I could as far as closing. So, I'll leave it to her if she wants to come back next week and teach it more if she wants to. But like I said, my experience is I always forget to ask for the sale, and in business, that hurts you a lot. A lot of my blog posts, I'm going back and repurposing the content, refreshing it up. And I know a lot of my blog posts don't have a call to action in them. And you're asking for the close with the call to action, and I've been learning how to write better blog posts and stuff like that. But another one of my mentors, she puts a video on her blog and writes 4 sentences, and that's her blog post. And I'm like, do I have to really sit here and write a 2,000-word blog post when she's getting tons of traffic by taking a YouTube video, putting it on her blog, and writing 5 to 10 sentences? That's an idea, So I've been experimenting with, different blog posts and stuff like that. Talking about how I close sales. I did, Dave. I said I always forget to ask for the sale, because we get into the people I've been talking to, we get into such a great conversation. I don't feel there's a point in there where I need to say, hey, have you tried this, or do you want this, or that's why I had Wonder Whit coming on to teach this, because I guess I don't know how to ask for sale. The conversations go so good, and I feel like we've become friends, and I'm afraid to ask for the sale. Oh, she's back to save me.
Oh my God, Jamie, where did I drop off?
I have no idea. I just started going over your notes and did the best I could. So.
Oh my God. I didn't even notice I dropped off because I was reading in my notes. So I was like going this whole time. I was like, I'm going through these notes kind of fast, and Jamie's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Are we off air?
No, we're live. We're still live. Dave's giving me crap. He asked me how to talk about how I close, and I said the truth. I always forget to ask for the sale. I have such a good conversation with the people that I just forget to ask for the sale. Then he asked me, what method is it called, Jamie? The 3G method, redirect and ramble. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much. That's it.
Oh my gosh, I like, honestly, I really don't know where I dropped off.
Let's see. I think you were. Let me see your notes. I think you were at the build rap report part when you dropped off.
Really? Yeah. Dang, that's been a while. Oh my God. Okay. Like talking about form, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Dang, I went over so much and you guys missed out. It's all right. It's all right. I'm going to go over this again. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. So form, yes, you're going to build rapport, friends, occupation, recreation. You want to ask about all these things. One, it's giving you information that you can reverse engineer later. I'll probably ask you the same thing. Oh, are you married? Are you with anyone? Do you have family? What do you do for fun? So you'll build this connection with them. When somebody tells me, and this is the important part with gathering this information, this is why it's crucial, is aside from the know, like, and trust factor, you're going to get information from them. When they tell you they have a family, you know that they have responsibilities financially and morally. When they tell you, oh, I love to travel, but I really don't have that much time for it, you know that they value time and they don't have enough of it. So these are problems and pain points that you can provide a solution to potentially. But you assess this pain and you make sure that you have something to offer them before you continue on this process. And during this process, if you come across anybody that you don't really vibe with, or you'd rather not work, sounds great. It was great getting to know you. I got to run. I got a meeting. Have a great weekend. Have a great night, whatever. So you don't have to work with anyone. that you don't want to. But if you wouldn't have dinner with them, you probably shouldn't work with them. You are going to invest in this person. If they do join your business, you're going to invest a lot of time in them with coaching and mentoring and just answering questions, even if you don't really do the mentorship role yet. But yeah, you're going to invest time. So be prepared to spend a lot of time with whoever you're around. Okay, so once you've gotten a good amount of rapport built, what do you do for business? And they're in the marketing realm. Maybe they're with an MLM, and okay, cool. How long have you been doing that? Tell me a little bit more about it. And they'll tell you their spiel about how they joined the company for this reason or that reason, and that's all well and good. And you'll say, oh, cool. How is it working for you? How is it working for you? I like to ask how long they've been with the company too, just to kind of give me a roundabout where they are. If they're within the first 3 months to 6 months with their company, they're probably still in that really die-hard phase where everybody's passing around the Kool-Aid and they're in love and they're doing great and it's so awesome and the products are amazing. Again, all well and good. We all love our companies and the products and all that good stuff, but I'm looking for somebody who's in pain. Okay, well, that's awesome. Why'd you join? If they're doing awesome, why did you join? That's going to tell you a pain. Well, I just wanted to make some more money and have time with my family. Cool. How long have you been feeling a crunch on your time? How long has it been a problem? Oh, well, for the last few years, ever since we had kids and there's less time for just me and my husband or me and my wife, people will begin to spill a little bit at a time. And these things are great because it's allowing you a little closer in and a little closer in. It's kind of like being on a park bench with somebody and you get a little conversation going, and before you know it, you're sitting right next to each other because you're talking and you're building this rapport, and it's like you've been friends for a while and you're having this great conversation. And that's essentially what you want. But when you gain these literal moments where they're answering questions they wouldn't necessarily answer for a stranger, this moment of vulnerability is metaphorically because it's letting you know that you're being trusted. Don't show up like a peacock and go betray their trust a little. You want to appreciate that vulnerability, but no, that's a tell for you to know that they're starting to trust you. Well, what did you do in the past when you started noticing this time constraint? Did you try anything else to solve that problem? No, they'll go along and tell you a little bit, because now you're a friend. Now they're trusting you with a little bit of personal information. Some people will say, I got the one that's somebody is pretty coachable. At least that they're struggling, they're probably a fairly coachable individual. And then you can ask them, well, what do you feel is the problem? Are you not getting enough leads? Are you just lacking a strategy, do you think? And they'll probably tell you, especially in MLM, well, I've run out of my friends and my family to talk to, so I don't really have any more market left, and some of my people have fallen off. Okay, they're giving you a little more to work with. They're giving you a little bit more pain, and that's great. Again, these vulnerabilities, we're going to reverse engineer them later. I'll show you how. But let's see. Okay, so somebody who's not doing so great in their business, how do you feel about that? Have you given up, or are you looking for a real solution? A real solution. Notice the verbiage there. Not something that works, because something implies they have to do something different. And that's already going to put up a wall resistance because they've invested time in their current business. Are you ready for a real solution? Says, I can stay here and fix this. How much do you want per month to be financially independent? Again, please pay attention to this language. This language is incredibly important. I didn't say, how much money do you want to make a month? Money is money. Anytime I hear the word money in a conversation, I automatically think of a sale. And that's something you don't want them to associate you with, because it's going to put up a wall. They're going to put up some resistance. They're going to push back. Somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000 a month, at least here in the U.S. This is a pretty healthy figure. $5,000 a month is families. And it allows them a little flexibility. You know, I want to pay off my credit cards, or I want to be able to pay off my student loans. I want to do this. I want to do that. They'll give you their reasons, you know, and if they don't, you'll have room to ask them later. So they're going to tell you between $3,000 and $5,000 a month. Just wrap your head around that number, because if you don't have an opportunity that you believe will pay $3,000 to $5,000 a month, you need to be prepared to offer a side hustle. You don't want to have anybody joining your business thinking that they're going to get rich quick, or that they're going to make an obscene amount of money that is not possible or not likely. You want somebody who's willing to put in the work and have a level head, somebody who's ready, somebody who's really ready to get that on. Now, entrepreneurial tendencies and entrepreneurship are kind of different things. Like, tendencies are people who have these tendencies to be really crafty and be really clever, but they don't really have the stamina to work for themselves, or the discipline to work for themselves and keep themselves on track consistently. Those people have entrepreneurial tendencies. Entrepreneurs are go-getters, are consistent every day, whether somebody's watching over the shoulder or not. And those are very rare. So you want to make sure that you have who you want to work with, and you're offering something that they need. An entrepreneur can turn a side hustle into an amazing opportunity, but somebody with entrepreneurial tendencies cannot turn a side hustle into a full-time income. So just keep that in mind when you're talking to people as well. But ask them what they need to become financially independent. Financially independent, very crucial. When they tell you between $3,000 and $5,000 a month, ask them, are you close? Don't say, are you close because? Don't finish the sentence. Let them think. Some people will come right out and say, well, no, not really. Other people will say, well, I just need to, and they'll have a to-do list that they'll send you. I just need to find more people. I just need to do this, which is great because they're giving you their pain point. Some people will shut the conversation down. It's very rare by this point that you've had that rapport build up, that they would shut the conversation down. But some people will, and they'll say, well, you know, I'm getting there, but it was great talking to you. At that point, don't chase. Let them go. They'll think about it. If they don't think about it, they're not your person. It's okay. But when somebody does say, well, no, not really, or I just need to find more people, or I just need to nail down what would you be doing? If you could, they're going to tell you, they'll reiterate, you know, what's the vision? You want to find out the vision. So they'll probably reiterate some things tied to family. I want to protect and provide. You know, I just want to be there for my friends and my family anytime they need something. I want to be there for my daughter's school play. I want to be able to travel, pay off my debt. Those are things. This magic happens because you can take that information and extract it. So if they tell me, I want to be there for my daughter's school play, I know that family is important to them, and to protect and provide and actually be there emotionally for their family is an emotional trigger for that person. They tell me, I want freedom to travel. Freedom is their emotional trigger. Experiences. Traveling, it has a psychological attachment to freedom and experience. Probably unique experiences or exotic experiences that not many people have in normal life. That's probably something they're craving. And okay, so when they say something like, I want to have a really nice home, beautiful thing is a psychological trigger. I know that having things that are better than their peers might be a psychological trigger. I know that when somebody tells me they want the finer things in life, they probably want a little bit of prestige. Or prestige is a good one for people who say, well, I want to be able to walk the company stage. That's a big indication that that person wants their moment of 15 minutes of fame where they have the acknowledgement from their peers, their colleagues, their company, that they've accomplished something. Those are all self-actualization triggers. Those are some of the deepest triggers of all. So now you know what you can hit with them in a conversation to pull them back to you. So finding out their vision and finding out where they want to be, you know, in the grand scheme of things is incredibly paramount. And two, once they've revealed this to you, you know that you have a fair amount of trust with this person. A pretty good amount. Before I continue, if you guys have questions or common objections, you can put them in the chat below. If you log in with Facebook, you can ask anything. Jamie is usually aware of all things going on in the chat while I'm on my little tangents, but we can answer them at the end here in a few minutes. But okay, so sometimes you get pulled into a conversation where the conversation is deadlocked. Maybe somebody isn't quite ready to release the emotional high ground or the psychological high ground. So you guys are kind of deadlocked, right? Where they're trying to get a one-up and own the conversation. But again, you want to maintain your cool, your charisma, and take that energy, that intensive energy that's coming at you, and kind of neutralize it and keep your cool. But when the conversation is deadlocked, you want to even out the playing field. Bring them back down to size and let everybody know, you know, it's a nice way to let everybody in the conversation feel human again. So you can ask them something like, so why are we on this call? Why are we in this chat? Do not break the silence, especially if somebody's come to you. If you've got like a three-way call with one of your downline and they're coming to you for help to close this person, why are we on this call? If at that moment you know that if they knew the answer to their pain, they wouldn't be on the call with you in the first place. And they might say something like, oh, I just want to know my options. Why are you looking for options? If you're successful and happy, why are you looking for options? That's what that tells me. Why are we on this call? Do not answer for them. Do not break the silence. Grow a beard before you answer that question. When they do answer, they might say something like, well, you know, I'm not quite where I want to be, or I'm not doing as well as I'd hoped by this point. So that will give you a little bit of vulnerability where everybody can kind of come down from the deadlock and say, okay, well, now we can work with something. Why are we on this call? And then you can touch their emotional real estate. When they told you their vision, they gave you their triggers. Whether they knew it or not, they gave you their triggers. So you're going to want to touch on those. You're going to say, you know, I know you don't have the time and freedom that you were hoping for. You know, you don't get to travel as much and you're not spending time with your spouse and your family, and those are things that you want, or maybe you're not able to do all the things that you really wanted to provide for your family yet. If you don't come into this opportunity, whatever your opportunity is, if you don't do this now, how will you have the money, the funds, the financial independence to chase those dreams? How are you going to do it if you don't invest with this opportunity now? Invest. Everything is an investment. You have to match their vibe, because suddenly they got vulnerable with you. Come down and be a very cool, neutral person and ask them, what's going to happen if you don't? Maybe if they've got a debt they need to pay off in the next 6 months, what's going to happen if you don't? They're already thinking of the consequences. They know the consequence. They're very well aware of the consequences. Otherwise, they wouldn't be looking for a solution. If somebody knows that If they don't pay their rent on time and they've only got 30 days before they get eviction notices, they're very well aware of what's going to happen if they don't meet these financial goals. If you truly believe that you can help somebody, then you can push on these triggers and actually offer them a solution. Going into just, there's so much of this is posture, and so much of this is just knowing what you're working with and understanding the people and what they're saying, digesting the conversation and extracting what is vital. Identifying these psychological triggers will do so much for you in your close, but a lot of it is posture. A lot of it is posture. If you can own the conversation and say, this is my conversation, and you will answer my questions, you'll get answers. Another strategy that I teach, you can incorporate this in some points that I've gone over, is Fuji. It's an acronym. It's F-U-J-I. Stands for fear of loss. Where, like when you touched on what's going to happen if you don't come up with this money, all of a sudden they're afraid to lose something. They're afraid to lose their house. They're afraid to lose their freedom. They're afraid to lose their relationships, their prestige. They're afraid to lose something. And you've made that clear. They know what they're afraid to lose. You actually don't have to say it. You just want them to admit it so that they can become vulnerable with you and you can establish that trust, that bond, and they're going to look to you for guidance. U stands for urgency. You can also incorporate scarcity with this. Again, what's going to happen if you don't create this financial independence? What's going to happen? You've got 30, 60, 90 days to come up with X amount of dollars or to get back on your path. What's going to happen if you don't? Again, they're afraid to lose. J stands for Jones effect. This is a nice one to throw out. This is a great way to edify your team as well. You want to use the success stories of people around you in your company or in your opportunity. If somebody's had a really great day or a success story, utilize it. At this point is Jones effect, keeping up with the Joneses. Well, I know this guy, he didn't have anything when he started. And you know what? He's a 6-figure earner now. Or I had this girl last week. She was in a very similar situation as you, and she's actually doing really great. She gets it. She caught on really quick. She's a dedicated learner. When you put out their best qualities along with a little success, that Jones effect is really effective. Suddenly they want what this person has. And you have the answer to that. Indifferent, I stands for indifference. So this is the Fuji, F-U-J-I. Indifference is for you as a closer. It works on them, but in a different way. Indifference for you as a closer, what we do in network marketing and affiliate marketing when we're building rapport and we're closing people, prospecting, it's all 1 + 1, right? It's simple in concept. It's hard work, but it's simple. It's 1 + 1. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. That's 9 to 5 mentality. You're done with that. Take out the =2 because you're divorcing the result. It's 1 + 1, 1 + 1, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. You continue on. It does not matter if this person says no. It does not matter what happens in this conversation, whether they join you or not. What does matter is that you stay consistent. So this indifference of whether or not they join your team, it's going to eat at them a little bit because they're going to think one of two things. One, I need to prove that I matter to this person. Two, they really are successful. Otherwise, they wouldn't be, if they weren't as successful and they didn't have a solid opportunity, they would be that person who's saying, join me now, lock in your spot. You have to get in right now. This is an incredible opportunity. That loud pitch that comes through. You're not that person when you're indifferent, when you don't care, when you can divorce the result. Because whether this person says yes or no really doesn't inflect or reflect upon you as a person, doesn't reflect upon your skill. It just says, no, they're not ready right now. They may not be your person. Maybe they're meant for somebody else. Great. Moving on. Next. There's always the next one. But going into common objections, Jamie, I don't know if anybody put any, I had a few written down already, but did anybody ask questions?
Yeah, Dave had a question. You want to know, you're having your conversation with a person, have you reached them? Let's see, have you reached them? Have they called you, or are you calling them, or just curious?
Either way, it doesn't matter. A lot of people, the conversation goes the same way. If somebody is reaching out to you, either they see you as a leader or they see you as somebody they want on their team. Typically that's how that goes. So either it's a little bit better if somebody reaches out to you just because you have a little bit more high ground, I think, at least I feel. But even when I message somebody, the conversation usually goes the same way. I definitely allow for fluidity just in case maybe they're not ready to talk about this. Maybe they are that person that's just kind of there and associated with network marketing and not really serious about their opportunity, at which case I'm like, it was great getting to know you, but I gotta go. I've got a meeting. I'm gonna call. It's okay to make people wait. But as far as, you know, who's contacting who, this process works either way. But I did have, I posted on Facebook a little while ago, and I'll check it right now to see if anybody else has put anything. But some of the common objections, cost. Cost is my favorite one. I love it when somebody tells me, oh, well, that's a lot of money. And it doesn't matter if it's $20 or $2,000. Somebody's going to say it's a lot of money. Everything is an investment. It's either a good investment or a bad investment. So I can invest $20,000 in a car, but if you won't invest $20 in a supplement that's going to help your health, get you a result with your health, or if you're not going to invest $200 in a training product, a training module that you know will make you more money later, in the skill set to do something now, that's a little backwards. So what do you think it will cost you to not invest in this opportunity, in this training, in this product? What do you think it will cost you to not invest? Will it cost you your health? Will it cost you your time? Will it cost you money? That's a cost. And that's something I like to iterate. Definitely hit that one a lot. And it usually tweaks somebody's mindset when you approach it from that standpoint. But cost is my favorite because I love to flip it. Another objection is time. Time is of the essence, as always. But time is a very popular objection. And I know it will pass either way, and it will. Time will pass no matter what you do. If you don't invest, and whether or if you do. But what will change is the result. If you do invest, then you'll have something to show for it. If you don't, the time will pass anyway, and you'll be kicking yourself, wondering if you should have and if it would have worked out. So what are you willing to sacrifice? Either way, you're going to sacrifice time. But you pay for it now with investing your time, or you pay for it later in regrets and your quality of life. So which one is it going to be? A big one, is it real? Network marketing has a bad rap. But a lot of people ask, is it real? Do you really make that much money? Do people really get out of debt? Sure. You can actually look up so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, edify your team, and mention their 6 personal victories if you have them. Like, I'm able to support my children financially as a single mother. I have 3 kids and I have no financial assistance. That's a pretty big leap for most people. You know, I'm able to, you know, spend time with my friends and my family and not worry about the bills piling up. That's a relief. That's a relief most people want and they don't have. The scam objection. Well, it sounds like a scam. What sounds like a scam? Well, you have to pay money to make money. Well, yes, you invest in an education before you begin a career for somebody else. Why wouldn't you have to invest in your own business? That makes no sense. I would be worried about something that's free that you make money off of. That sounds like a scam. Nothing is free. Everything is an investment. And if you use the language investment over cost or price or money, you'll have a very different shift in the conversation. So those are my things that I came prepared for today. I don't know if anybody had any more questions.
I don't see any more questions. Okay, I got a question for you. When you jump back on, I was talking about that I always forget to ask for the sale. How do I know when I should be asking for the sale?
When you have vulnerability.
When I have what?
When you have vulnerability with somebody. When somebody gets vulnerable with you and says, well, you know, I'm struggling with this, that should be a flag to say go. Okay. That's the green light. It says go. And you can.
Great. I got this product that will help you get leads and sales since you're struggling to get leads and sales.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm struggling with, you know, I ran out of my warm market and I'm really not finding new people to talk to. Great. You know what? I can actually help you with that because I actually have this thing that trains you on how to find your market for exactly what you're selling.
Well, let's say I don't understand that concept. I won't run out of warm market. If you're constantly out there meeting people and networking with people, you never run out of a warm market.
Yeah, I know. Most people just don't meet new people. Or they add the wrong people. That's a common strategy on Facebook, is to add to your circle, add to your network, and that's all well and good. But what people are you adding? Are you adding just randomly suggested people? Are you actually finding people with common interests? Are you finding people who already have network marketing in common with you? That's a really great place to find prospects, is like Gary Vaynerchuk's page, Ray Higdon, you know, people that you can see their comments and see that if they're in agreement or disagreement or what exactly, some things that might clue you into that this person is looking for a solution. Gary Vaynerchuk has people all the time that says, I need a business idea. I can do this. Oh my God, I can't tell you how many times I've seen that comment from I don't know how many different people videos. And it's not like Gary Vaynerchuk has time to consult, and these people don't have $10,000 to consult with Gary V. That leaves an opportunity for you.
Yeah, I got 3 friend requests sitting in there right now that I haven't really looked at their profiles real hard. And then I had like 3 last week, and I accepted their friend request after I checked them out, and I started sending them a message and talking to them and say, you know, why did you reach out to me? What can I help you with? You know, like, well, you were a suggested friend as one of the influential marketers in my network, so I sent you a friend request. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and when somebody adds you and they don't really know why, that's a great opener, and it doesn't always work, but a good opener. I shouldn't say great opener. A good opener. Somebody, oh, you're a suggested friend and you're in marketing, so I added you, and you say, cool, can I help with anything? Like, what's going on? What's going on in your world? What's going on in the corner? Whatever town they're in. And it opens the door to the conversation to allow it to flow. Now, some people don't respond. Some people are like, it's great, thanks, have a good night, go. Investing time there.
I got an interesting follow today, and you probably know her, and it just kind of shocked me that she started following me. That's Sherry Brown.
Oh, really? That's fun.
I've only seen her teach one time. She taught about outsourcing, I think it was.
Yeah.
And that's the only time I've ever seen her teach. You know, so that was very interesting. So it's kind of cool that she started following me. You know, I'm like, oh.
Coach Sherry Brown, yeah, that's awesome. She works really closely with Kay, and Kay's a funny guy. I'm friends with him. Social media friend.
Did I do something to stand out to her so she started following me? That's what went through my head when I first seen it.
I love it when people follow me and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
Goals.
Oh, the big one follows me and comments on my stuff. Actually, I'm friends with her because when she was on Dave's show that night, she sent all of us friend requests, and we all got friend requests from Diane. And I had a question about something, and I sent it to Diane. She answered me right away. So that's good.
It's a zoo over here. It's my daughter's birthday, so all the kids are coming inside, and they're like, "It's time for cake."
Yep. Well, we're 6 minutes after, so I'll go ahead and close out, and you can get to your daughter's birthday activities.
Thank you.
Thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for everybody in the chat, Dave, and see, Dave was in the chat, and I don't. There were some other people in the chat, but they weren't commenting. So, make sure you guys, if you're interested in the Workshop Warrior Institute, get with me or Wonder Whit or Dave, and we'll tell you all about the Workshop Warrior Institute. If you want to come Monday night, hang out at 24-hour marketing mastermind. I had a brain spasm there for a minute. Forgot what I was saying. But 24-hour marketing mastermind on Monday night with Dave, Katie, Dave Renica, Katie Stage, Pops Stage, and myself. And Tuesday is Maria and Sonia, Marketing Systems at Work at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday is Pat Patterson's Wisdom Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And next Thursday back here for Jamie Shaw Marketing Show. You got any hangouts or anything you want to announce?
Okay, sorry, you froze for a second.
So you got any hangouts or anything you want to announce?
I'm actually going to start going live on Wednesdays on my Facebook page. It's Wonder with Wit on Wednesdays. So come hang out with me on Wednesday. Look me up on Facebook, Wonder Whit. But other than that, I'm just around. So you can just message me, facebook.com/thewonderwit. And I'm available. So if you have any more questions, I'd be glad to answer them for you.
Yeah, and if you got a question for Wonder Whit, don't be afraid to hit me up, and I'll get your question to her. So thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you all next Thursday.
Bye, guys.